My name's Ethan Parker, 19 years old back in 2015, fresh out of high school and working at a pet store in Bristol, England to fund my college tuition. It was my first real job, and I was thrilled to work with reptiles, fish, and birds. Animals I'd loved since I was a kid. The store manager, Kurt, was a no-nonsense guy who valued hard work. But my department manager, Stephanie, was a spiteful bully who made my life hell because I knew more about snakes than she did. She cut my hours, humiliated me, and, as I later discovered, stole thousands from the store while sabotaging our team. I could have quit, but instead, I watched, gathered evidence, and got her fired, watching her walk of shame past 20 co-workers. This is how I turned her own schemes against her. It all started in the summer of 2014. I'd just graduated high school and needed cash for college. The pet store was perfect, stocking aquariums, feeding lizards, helping customers pick the right pet. I'd kept snakes for years, so I knew my stuff, from boa constrictors to ball pythons. Kurt, the store manager, was old school. Show up, do your job, go home. He didn't care for drama, just results, and I respected that. My department, handling fish, reptiles, and birds, was run by Stephanie, a loud, lazy woman with a chip on her shoulder. From day one, we clashed. During training, I corrected her on a snake's diet, politely, I thought, but her face soured. "You think you're smarter than me?" she snapped. I'd bruised her ego, and she never forgot it. Stephanie's vendetta was immediate. She singled me out for the worst jobs: scrubbing slimy goldfish tanks, cleaning bird cages, hauling heavy aquarium gravel, while other staff got sales duties, which were easier and came with commission. She'd bark insults in front of everyone. "Ethan, you're the weak link in my team. You're why this department's failing." I was stunned. I'd only been there a month, working my ass off, yet she painted me as the problem. Coworkers like Jake and Lisa tried to reassure me. "She's just jealous, mate." But Stephanie's attacks were relentless. She'd mock my appearance, my voice, even my college plans. I gritted my teeth, needing the job, but every shift felt like a battle. A year in, things got worse. My hours were slashed by 25%, from 30 to 22 a week. I asked Kurt why, expecting a straight answer. "Your department's losing money," he said. "Low sales, too much broken merchandise." It didn't add up. Our reptile section was busy, and I'd sold plenty of aquariums. Everyone's hours were cut, so I didn't push it, but something felt off. Around the same time, Jake, Lisa, and I noticed Stephanie acting strange. She'd always been lazy, avoiding customers unless it was to bark orders at us. But suddenly, she was all over certain clients, insisting on helping them herself and sending us to do busy work, like reorganizing stock. One evening, a chatty customer mentioned how nice Stephanie was, raving about the mice she'd sold him for his snake. Outside the store, alarm bells rang. Our company had strict policies. We didn't sell mice as live snake food, and we condemned backyard breeding, donating heavily to shelters instead. The pieces started clicking. Jake overheard another customer thank Stephanie for a turtle she'd sold them, again, off books. Lisa confirmed Stephanie was breeding dogs, mice, and turtles at home, using the store to find buyers. This wasn't just unethical, it was stealing business from us. Our department's sales were tanking because Stephanie was funneling customers to her side hustle. I wondered how this tied to the broken merchandise Kurt mentioned. Stephanie signed off on write-offs for damaged goods, but I'd never seen stacks of broken aquarium lights or terrarium heaters. My gut told me she was up to something bigger. One night, a regular customer, one of Stephanie's specials, came in, and I decided to watch her like a hawk. She trailed him through the aisles, picking out pricey items: a 200-pound aquarium filter, 50-pound terrarium bulbs, 80 pounds in decorations. I scribbled down every item's UPC code, noting the time, 7:45 p.m. Normally, Stephanie avoided the registers. She'd rather nap in the break room, but she rushed to check this guy out herself. I lingered nearby, pretending to restock. She scanned some items, but her hands moved fast, sliding others into the cart without a beep. The customer left with a loaded cart, grinning. I checked with Lisa, who worked the registers. "Stephanie only rings up her people," she said. "She's weird about it, like she's hiding something." Jake agreed. "I've seen her apply massive discounts for no reason." I suspected she wasn't just discounting. She was letting stuff walk out for free. I needed proof. Over the next week, I rallied Jake and Lisa to back me up. They'd seen Stephanie's side deals and shady checkouts. I typed up my observations, her animal sales, the customers she favored, the suspicious transactions. I included my UPC list from that night and the exact time of the checkout. The next day, I approached Kurt in his office, heart pounding. "I think Stephanie's stealing," I said, handing him the paper. "Check register 2 at 7:45 last night. You'll find a transaction with some of these items, probably discounted or missing." Kurt frowned, puzzled. I laid it all out. Her backyard breeding, the customers she'd poached, the weird checkouts. "I didn't want to accuse her without evidence," I said, "but I saw her skip scanning items." Kurt nodded. "I'll look into it, Ethan. Thanks." I left hoping I hadn't just tanked my job. For 2 weeks, nothing happened. I kept my head down, dodging Stephanie's glares and insults. "You're useless, Ethan," she'd hiss, piling more tank cleaning shifts on me. I stayed quiet, watching. Then one afternoon, I noticed Kurt by the entrance, arms crossed, eyes fixed on the door. Stephanie walked in for her shift, all smug confidence. Kurt called her over, voice sharp. "My office, now." I later learned a regional manager from corporate was waiting inside. Kurt had checked the transaction I'd flagged. It matched my UPC list, but only half the items were rung up, exactly as I'd suspected. The total was a fraction of what it should have been, with no discounts logged. That sparked a deeper investigation. Kurt and corporate watched Stephanie for weeks. They caught her red-handed, escorting her customers, loading carts with high-end gear, and scanning every other item while pocketing the rest. In 1 month, she'd given away over 1,500 pounds in merchandise, filters, bulbs, decorations. They dug into the write-off logs and found she'd faked thousands in broken goods to cover her tracks. Aquarium supplies were written off at 10 times last quarter's rate, all signed by her. The total damage? Over 3,500 pounds in stolen and fraudulent losses. Corporate didn't mess around. They arranged for police to meet Kurt after her firing. Kurt called a staff meeting the next day. "Stephanie's gone," he said. "She stole from us and betrayed our values. Ethan, Jake, and Lisa, thank you for speaking up." He didn't elaborate, but everyone knew. My hours were restored, and Kurt gave me a small raise for my initiative. The department's sales rebounded without Stephanie's side hustle draining us. I heard through the grapevine she faced charges for theft and fraud. I don't know if she went to jail, but I didn't care. Seeing her escorted out, her ego shattered, was enough. Life at the store got better. Jake and Lisa became my work family, and Kurt trusted me with more responsibility. I worked there another year, saving for college, before moving into a career in zoology. Stephanie's downfall was a lesson. Don't mess with someone who pays attention. She thought she could bully me, steal from the store, and get away with it. Instead, I used her own greed against her, exposing her to Kurt and corporate. That wink as she walked out, it was for every insult, every tank I scrubbed, every hour she cut. As I sit in my office now, studying reptile habitats, I think of her defeated stare and smile. Thanks, Stephanie. You taught me how to fight back and win.